What's up, New York? It's your boy DJ Scripz. We live in the studio right now with the one and only Princess. But before we get into Princess, because yo, she is packed with information. She got so much information about the industry. You guys better tune in. But before we get into that, man, we're going to get into the Fresh and Fly report. Before it was called a drip report, but you know, Scripz is not a trend follower. Scripz doesn't like to bite, so Scripz love to create. You understand what I'm saying? So I create my own thing. The Fresh and Fly report. You know what I'm saying? So usually when the guests come, we talk about what we got on. Because you know, this is New York City. Right. New York City is the fashion mecca. We the fly side here. You know, but me, I'm always repping my brand. You see? Last time I had the tan, Legal Dope Push and sweatshirt. Now I have the blue. You know, this is what? The navy blue, the royal blue. What kind of blue is this? Baby blue, powder blue, sky blue. Well, it's one of the blues, and that's what I'm rocking. Listen, I was running late today. You know why? Because I had to run to Jimmy Jazz to get my polo socks. Why? Because I had to match my polo shorts. You know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even going to talk about the jewelry because that's not really a lot of jewelry, but you know, it's just a little something. You know what I'm saying? And I got the Tom Ford on. You know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So, Princess, I see you with the gas bag. And you told me this thing costs just like a Louis Vuitton bag. What's going on? something
like that.
All right, so we got Princess in all black.
I'm old school. I mean, I can wear the Louis Vuitton bags and all that too. I mean, that's me anyway. But you know, I decided to be a little casual, just throwing my little Guess bag. I'm old school, so I love my Guess bag.
That's right.
Just some little heels.
I see beautiful heels. I love them.
And, you know,
I might get those for my daughter. They look very fly, very trendy. But yo, man, yo, Scotty, man, yo, chill out. Scotty, let me give you a piece of advice, man. Michael Jordan is not the reason why your son, why his son is piping your ex-wife, man. Ooh. That ain't got nothing to do with Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan is not the reason why his son is piping your ex-wife, man. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Cut it out, Scotty. I'm gonna give you a piece of advice, man. What I can tell you is, you are a phenomenal player. You were a phenomenal player. A great player on the court. You played on both ends, and you were very exciting to watch, especially that time you dunked on Patrick Ewing at the Garden. That was it right there. And I'm from New York, and I loved it because I'm a Bulls fan, right? But yo, man, you tripping. My piece of advice for you is this, man. You should do your own documentary film, and you call it The First Dance. And most important of all, you should forget about the Jordans, man, and go get yourself someone that's sweeter. If you don't know how to, holla at me. We're going to go straight to Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it, you know what I mean? But yo, that's my advice to you, brother, man. Stay away from that. But yo, Princess, what's up? What do you think about that? You seen that on the news lately? Scotty tripping?
Yes, I have. I see a lot of stuff on the news. You know.
What you think about the Scotty situation, destroying Jordan legacy?
I really don't, you know, I be so busy into my own. Listen, I run a record label.
All right.
I got so many.
So she's not into the politics, man. She's not into the fake media stuff. But yo, I smell a little accent. Where you from exactly?
You know, kind of here and there. You know.
Where you from? You from down south, or you from
Cali, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. You know, in between both.
You're from Cali and Ohio, in between the two.
And I live here too. I've been here for a while.
Okay,
I rep New York.
Oh, you rep New York. You've been here for a while. So how long you been in New York?
I've been here since 2013. I moved, you know, I came here. I moved back. You know, it's a long story to me, but my book coming out, by the way. So
you got a book coming out. You didn't even tell me about that.
Oh, yeah.
You got a book coming out. So now,
some stuff quiet, but you know, I let it know a little bit.
Okay, so now we've met through your sister Chula. Shout out to Chula for introducing us. And ever since we met, you've been informing me about, you know, the music industry and the different things to watch out, especially in contracts. And I'm like, how the hell she know all of this? come to find out you went to business school for music. Now, can you walk us through this process? What made you do that?
Well, at first, when I had first started my label, I just seen a lot of screwed up stuff going on in it. It was just so much. I was confused. I was confused about what I was doing. So my first artist, that I had, I really realized that I didn't know the business. And then it was people, I had a couple of screw overs, some scams. And so I went back, if you really want to know something and you want to know the business, you got to go back to the books. And I'm one of them type of people. I research stuff. I like to know everything. I need to know what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and I need to know, what I'm doing it for, and I need to know what's going on while I'm talking. I need to know. I got to have that knowledge so that I don't get played again.
So let me get this straight. Because in the beginning of your career, in terms of the music career, you were getting schooled by artists, people, studios, so on and so forth.
Yes.
So that pissed you off. That motivated you to go to business school.
It was a lot of things that the lawyers was actually, and just certain people are telling me, like, just certain things that are just, they'll say things that really, that I didn't understand. So I was like, well, wait a minute, what is sync license and what is this and what is and how do I get? And so then I said, what? I'm about to ask nobody else nothing because nobody gonna give you nothing.
Learn it yourself.
Nobody in this business gonna tell you nothing for free. They're not even gonna tell you nothing. Period.
So that motivated you to go.
Me being a woman, I had to go back.
So that motivated you to go back to school, pick up business, and specialize in the music industry. Wow. So now, how challenging was that to, complete business school and get a business degree that concentrate on the music industry? How challenging was that?
I thought it was going to be easy because I thought that it was just going to be about learning how to run a label, But when I went back to school, it teaches you more than that. It's not just the basic structures of running a label. You actually learn about everything that you need to know about the music, the business side of the industry. So when I deal with artists, when I'm dealing with anybody, I'm coming from a business side because that's the part that they teach you. You go deep into the licenses. You go deep into the publishing. You go deep into the self-publishing. And you go deep. I mean, it's deep. And my professors was great. They was all deep. They all, a lot of them come from, a lot of my professors was big time people. They still in my lives. I'm still in their life, and they wish us all well. It's people that's actually made it. I was in classes with some celebrities, although they didn't show their face, but I knew you could tell the ones that was blotted out. Those were celebrities that came back to school to learn the industry. My teacher, one of my teachers, my business teacher, one of my teachers, my professors was Chance the Rapper's manager.
Oh, that's dope.
And one of them, I think he did the Grammy Awards, and they actually teach their butts off. So I was there for like 3 years.
3 years in the process
and I'm going back.
What? You going back for your master's now?
Yeah.
Okay, now in the process of being in school to learn business in regards to the music industry, I noticed that you have extensive knowledge about contracts. Now, was that a difficult task to learn about the intricacies of contracts in the music business?
Oh yeah.
Now, how did you deal with that in order to pass that class or these classes?
Well, the particular class that I actually took was called Music Contracts and Law. It's called Music Business and Law, Music Business. So it's kind of like you're learning things from a lawyer standpoint. Actually, a lot of stuff that I did learn, they said that it's kind of like you can't even go to a lawyer today with it because in the era that we live in today, a lot of the lawyers are not abreast with the information that they should have. So that the schools are actually, that this particular school actually teaches. So it was very, very challenging. My teachers were very hard on us, and I actually failed, I think, 2 classes, and I had to go back a couple times. but I passed them. And
That's great.
Long contracts was one of the hardest classes that I had to.
Well, you never know someone until you actually sit down with the person and have some intricate and intimate conversation. In the process, I sat down with you several times, and one thing that stood out like a sore thumb is the fact that you've worked with Jada Kiss. Now, you spoke about working with him in terms of his music contract. Now, how cool was it to work with Jada Kiss?
It is budget, so it doesn't add up to whatever that term is. Okay. So what happens is they get frozen. They get, so they can't. I think.
So that's added up.
Yeah, so they can't go on. They can't go on to the next. They can't be advanced.
That's added up on the advantage of the label, not the.
Whoever is and the artist that's in it that signed that clause, and that's basically what I was explaining to.
Okay, that's cool.
As far
as
see, I was explaining to D Block as far as that.
The intricacies of contracts in the music business is very deep, and she went to school for it, and now you see what she had to go through to break it down, and so that means.
But I wanted to, okay. And then you divide that. So when you come up with that answer, what happens is they start. They got to divide it again because you got songs that's on the side that you might have did with other people, or you might got cover songs. So it gets divided again, and then somewhere in there it gets subtracted, and so by the time it goes into, I guess. We had to do it in class, and I have my paperwork, but I got it. I would have to show it. But by the time it comes down, it'll show like a negative or whatever.
So that's what they are.
So that's how they can wind up getting stuck. And I believe, me personally, somewhere in there that might have been how he got covered.
Damn, these contracts are vicious.
Oh yeah.
Now I see that you have the skill to understand contracts and how labels, get finesse artists, but I also see that you have a music studio, a recording studio. Now, how challenging was it to build a recording studio?
It's still challenging. I'm still building it.
You're still building it. But you're in a better place now compared to where you were a couple of months or years ago.
I will say this, shout out to D Block again. So
you learned from them?
Yeah, yes. I got my Raven slate and everything. I got everything and learned a lot about the business from D Block, just being with.
So who is D Block specifically?
Kiss's engineer, which is Dazel.
Oh, Dazel. Shout out to Dazel.
Yes, shout out to him.
For taking care of the Black Queen. That's a lot of respect.
It was alright.
Okay.
It was alright.
So with Dazel kind of walk you through the process of building a studio from scratch.
Oh yeah. Everything I needed, and then from there, I went on and I left. We separated.
So now you're on your own.
Yes, somewhat. Yes.
Now let me ask you.
I'm working with Penthouse now.
You're working with Penthouse.
Yes.
How does it feel like to be on your own? I know that's a breath of fresh air, but do you have any anxieties?
All the time. But you know what? It's about the woman in me, the strength in me. Let me tell you something. When I first started with Dazel, Dice Payne, and just going to the studio and watching, celebrity life, stuff that they was doing, and just being there, watching Kiss in the studio, just watching everything. And I told Dazel, I want a studio. He didn't hate. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna help you do that. And he did it piece by piece. He got on the phone with Mike Brooklyn, and Mike Brooklyn got in touch with the Slate guy, and from there I got my Slate, and they helped me with everything.
Stay right there. You told Dazel that you're gonna get a studio, and he embraced it.
Yes.
Well, someone find out I was doing a show, and I used to work with them. They did not embrace it. They felt some type of way. See, that's what I'm saying. Well, the world has different people in it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. he might have embraced it if he was still going to be making money off of you somehow. Maybe if he'd have been coming over to your studio and you was paying him. See, with Dazel was still, I would still pay him as if I was going still to D Block.
Okay.
You getting what I'm saying?
But he was excited overall to see that you stepping out on your own, to do your own thing, to build your own studio. See, my point is, some people, they're just not happy for others. Especially when you know what you're doing and you've been there before them, doing it before them. See, people sometimes, this is why, I don't want to put this on the industry, I think it's an individual thing. Some people are very insecure because they don't want to see someone else excel or become good at something. But you doing it, and that's dope. And I got a chance to see the studio. Oh my God, I fell in love, man.
Oh, you should have seen the last one. The last one, the guy that did, which is Smiley. Shout out to him. That's my boy. Actually, he's family. Smiley's D Block too. He actually came. He the one that did he did Kisses. He did Kiss Walls and he did everything. And I said, I want it just like this. And he came over there and did it just like Kiss. Got me the same slate. And so if you would have walked into my old studio, you would have seen they built my
well, the one that I went to a couple of days ago, listen, man, 90 feet. It's a beautiful space. I can't wait to move my office in there. Thank you for providing me the office. As a matter of fact, I wanted to say this. Thank you for believing in me, and most importantly, for providing me the opportunity to grow with you and be an extended part of the Pretty Money Records family. Believe it or not, I can't even sleep. I'm thinking about this. I'm like, wait a minute. She really put me on the chair. She put me on the spot. She want to see what I got. And I got a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, as you can see. And I'm excited for that. I can't wait to move into the new building. I can't wait to start working in the new building. I'm putting my team together as you speak. I'm excited for that. But now, I noticed that you're very similar to me. You are a person that wears many hats, right? Not only do you understand how to read contracts, draft contracts, make artists understand them, and prevent pitfalls and make sure they get the best of the contracts. You have a recording studio. You know what I'm saying? I have to take my hat off to you for that. Not too many people could build and maintain a recording studio. Now, you have a record label.
I have a record label.
You sign artists to your label. Okay, Cookie, I see you. You know what I'm saying? I see you doing your thing, Cookie, lying. So now, you know what I'm saying? So now check this out. How challenging is that? To have all these things running simultaneously and having this label that I'm going to be helping running soon. I'm excited for that. Now, how exciting is that? Now, how exciting and challenging is that?
It's very exciting. I've worked with a lot of great artists. The challenging part is, and I'm pretty sure a lot of labels, and I'm going to be talking about that as well in the future to come. And I do want to discuss about, and I discussed this earlier, the challenges is keeping an artist, I believe that artists should do more research to be more abreast of the information. They need to know the business. They need an infrastructure.
You got to repeat that. They need to know.
They need to know the business. They need to have a great understanding, because a lot of great artists that I've got artists that I have sitting on the shelf that I done set down, and they're great artists.
Repeat what you said. You said you have artists that are sitting on the shelf.
I have set down.
Why are they shelf artists? Why did you shelf them?
Well, what happens is they be happy. They come on, they sign. I go through the procedure with them. I get my lawyers. Everything I do is strictly business. Everything I do with anybody, even when I was working with Days with D Block and all that, everything I did was contract. Everything I do, I do business, straight to the business. So they already know what they up against. They know what's gonna happen if they AWOL in my contracts. They understand from the get go. But somewhere in there, a lot of times I've had artists. They having relationships. They can't juggle a relationship and also their artistry. I've noticed that, which they come up when they come about. They claim they can. They got this great inspiration, and then somewhere in there they lose belief in themselves, or they makes lose belief in them. I don't know which is they'll be, but they just lose belief in themselves, and that makes them lose belief in me, or whatever, or somebody be in their ear telling them bull crap, because that's what it be. Because
Listen, a lot of
the
BS
artists,
goes on.
they telling them, a lot of times when I get artists, I want to just be honest. I work with high risk artists. We accept high risk artists.
Okay, what is your
meaning
definition of a high risk
a
artist?
high risk artist is an artist that comes through with maybe 1,000, 500,000 or more, maybe on a Instagram, and that's in followers. We're not, and the difference in a lot of artists, I gotta remind you to say this. They feel that 1,000 of artists is fans. It's a difference in followers on on Instagram, Facebook, and fans. You will know when you got a fan. Even if you got one fan, you will know. You will know when you got.
How
a
will
fan.
you know you have a fan
Oh,
or not?
that fan will know everything you did from A to Z. That fan will be there at all times
At
at
your
every
events?
showcase, at events. That fan gonna wear your shirts. You're gonna know that fan gonna be hitting you up. You
Listen
will know
to her.
when you got a fan. And this is
Listen.
what I try to. So my artist thinks that when I get them, so all my followers start following them, and I start
They
getting
think
them.
they got
I start
fans.
getting them in showcases. All of a sudden, they
They
got
think
this
the big head.
big head. So they
They-
think that they got fans. These are not fans. These are nosy followers. Okay?
Not only they
These
think they
is-
got fans, they think they could leave you.
these is nose exactly. These are nosy followers. They just want to see. And then a lot of times when they're at the showcases, they don't have no support but me. I be only one there with them. Where's your family? Where's your friends? Where's your fans? Yeah, they be there by themselves. A lot of artists goes to these showcases and they're by themselves. They have, but all of a sudden I build them up. I get them all prettied up, and that go for the women and the men. I build up their confidence, because that's what I do. I'm an empowerment. You know what I'm saying? We get them together. We get them the hairstylists. We get them let's say hairstylists. We get them hairstylists. We get them. We pay for top of the line stylists for their clothes.
Videographers.
I done put them in Benji films. I done did it all. We done did it.
Benji film popping.
Oh yes. I've worked with Benji Films with my artists.
What?
I've worked with Cardi B's old manager, Carl.
Really?
I work with them.
Okay,
yes.
well,
and I still deal with them.
Slow down. You artists don't have fans. Y'all have Instagram fake followers. Know the difference. Now, we have Princess in the studio. She's giving y'all too much. Because I got to charge y'all for stuff like this. I have to, because y'all don't respect it if it's free. No, they don't. Now, check it out. You done said a lot, right? It seemed like you have so much knowledge about the game. I was about to drink it for you because you were not drinking it. Now, you have so much knowledge about the game. Can you give me, like, a rundown on how you take a high-risk artist, because you mentioned it, I just want you to go over it again. How you take a high-risk artist or a beginning artist and make that artist look like something and become something. What are the procedures, step by step, so they could understand it? I should charge y'all for this, because some of y'all need to understand this. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of times, and this is something that artists, they hate to hear, I instantly put them. I started artist development back in 2017 when I first started the label.
Damn.
And a lot of times they were saying, back when I started it, they were saying that the labels wasn't doing it anymore. But I started it back up because I was coming from the old school point of view.
Facts.
Because that's how stars were made. Stars was made back in them. And I'm not talking about, and the reason why a lot of, we don't have the, I want to just say this and explain why I started artist development and why I started training the artists when, I started actually sitting in studios with them, making them rehearse all day, making them perform in front of me all day, teaching them how to work a stage from A to Z, teaching them how to stop in the middle and go back and forth. And I started that because the reason, no disrespect to the some of our stars, but our biggest stars today that everybody, and I'll say, okay, Beyonce, we love her, she got it going on, but we come from. Okay, Beyonce is one of the bigger stars, so her fans stick. Her fans stick because she got it, and that she was artist development. She come from back in them days with a father.
She from the
come
old
that.
school,
She
the
come
school
from,
that you came
now
from.
we talking about. I'm talking about we don't have no stars today. Like we come from. I come from Michael Jackson. I
Okay,
come
Michael
from
Jackson,
Diana
Prince.
Ross and them. I come from all of that where they had to be artist developed, where they had to, even Bobby Brown had to be structured. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Oh,
I believe that an
he
artist
was
has
a
to be
wrecking ball.
structured. I believe an
He
artist
was
has
a
to be
Rolling
structured
Rolling
to
Stone.
make her to be a star, to make that artist to be a star. So I was going
Mr.
back.
Provocative.
So what happened is they don't like it. They're these artists today is lazy. They just want to put out a song, blow up tonight, and just drink and smoke weed and
Drink and smoke weed.
and party.
Well, it's not only artists that drink and smoke weed. Radio personalities drink and smoke weed.
You know,
man.
I mean, listen,
So,
listen.
so weed thing going on out here.
No, but I'm just really honest. That's all they want. You know, this is all. It's not. They don't really want to put the hard work into it to be. Some of them just
To
want
be
just,
somebody.
Some of them just want to be a one hit. Some of them just want to hit.
Some of them just want to be there.
Just exactly.
They wanna
don't
be there
wanna-
doing
They don't
what?
care about. And when you see that in an artist while you're working with them, I've seen that in a lot of them. At first, you don't see it because they hungry. They want to be there, so you're like, okay, I'll give this person a chance. But as you get to working with them, you'll see that laziness kick in. You'll see it in their eyes. You start to see their attitude. You start to see them switch up and change.
Let me ask you a question. So you said
And those are the challenges.
a lot of challenges in terms of making an artist somebody, right? So now, had you ever had to say, you know what, fuck that. I ain't messing with that motherfucker. That motherfucker gotta go. I ain't got time for this bullshit. Have you ever had to say that?
Yes, I've had to let a couple of artists go. I've had to let potential artists go because a lot of times I've had an artist to come to me. Well, I didn't meet him. I would have someone else to meet him first. That's how I do. I always have Chula to meet the person first and deal with them just to see what their ego like. And then if they get through Chula, because Chula's a little meaner than me, she's a little different. So if they get through her, then they'll get to me. A lot of times they got to go through some of my little team people, and then once they get through her, if they get through Chula and she say yeah, then a lot of times they'll probably get to me. When they get to me, I start doing business with them. But I've seen a couple that will come through. They got this ego already. Oh, I don't need artist development, or I'm big, and you sitting here.
You don't need
1,000
artist
followers.
development?
I'm looking at your page. Your page ain't got no videos on it. You don't have no content. You ain't got. How are you marketing yourself? You don't even have an audience.
Oh, quick
you need an
question.
audience to market.
Quick question. Why will that person say they don't need artist development?
Well, they mindset. Their mindset is not. That's why I said they have to go back and do their research, and they need to get themselves. They need to really go and learn the business. They have to learn the music business in order to understand where these labels are coming from. Because I want to talk about something, and I want to say this. I'm gonna take y'all back. You remember? Now I said this once before, and I just want you to hear me out on this. What's that? What's that movie that had came out? He nights like this. I wish.
Oh, the 5 Heartbeats.
5 Heartbeats. Now, okay. Now, remember the manager got killed. How many times you watched that movie?
I watched it a couple of times.
Okay, the manager got killed, right? So, and Big Red was the bad guy. Everybody thought of him the bad guy, right?
No, that wasn't the 5 Heartbeats.
That's the 5 Heartbeats. Remember Big Red?
Heartbeats? Yeah, the Big Red.
Okay, Big Red is the one that hung the guy out the window.
That was the 5 Heartbeats.
And remember,
okay.
The manager got killed and all
I'm
of
thinking
that.
about the Temptation. Okay. Yeah, that was the 5 Heartbeats.
The 5 Heartbeats got killed. I mean, the manager got killed. But remember, Big Red went to jail.
Okay.
And remember, so if y'all remember that movie, I just want to take y'all back. So Big Red was the one in 5 Heartbeats that was wrong. That's what everybody felt, right? But I'm going to tell y'all where he wasn't wrong at when I started learning about the music industry. Big Red wasn't wrong. The manager first of all, the manager was silly. He should have had that artist in the it was the artist that was keeping up trouble between Big Red and the manager, the nice manager that took him on, that blew him up. But what he didn't have, he kept saying, I trust my boys. So Big Red said, you ain't got a contract. He didn't have a contract on them.
Oh, wow.
He didn't have a contract on that group.
But Big Red knew what he was doing.
Big Red knew
it wasn't going to get played.
And then another thing he said, if y'all remember back, because I watched this movie a lot, he asked he said, and what about publishing? So he said, we could just figure that out later. Do we have a deal? No, we don't. First of all, the manager was wrong because no, we don't have a deal. Because if I'm talking to you about publishing is a very, very, very serious. That's serious, and that has to be down on the contract.
Facts.
So Big Red was never wrong.
But you see, y'all heard that. Yeah. This is where I heard it first. Big Red wasn't wrong. So now you check this out. You know, we're running out of time, and we got to get to this PMR label services. What is that?
Oh man. Oh, that's a little bit of everything that I have learned. Just over the years that I've just put out. It's more of because I used to sign artists and invest in them. Now they have to. I was explaining to him. Now they got to get packages. Depends on
get packages and other for you to help them.
The difference between Pretty Money Records and the difference between Pretty Money Records. You're talking about the PMR label service as consultant firm.
Absolutely.
So I made that because for certain artists that want to sign under the label, under a 360, because that's what I do. A lot of people shuns that, but the 360 is, basically they sign and we do a percentage together. Okay, but now I came with the label services for that can be for DJs, producers, anybody that wants to, that come. They need certain services or whatever.
In the entertainment business,
artists. You could be an artist that need to collect that, need your royalties investigated. I want to say this too. It's a lot of artists out there, DJs. It's artists out there that are streaming music, and a lot of times you don't even know your music being played. This goes to producers. Y'all got music playing over there, and what happens is it's a lot of royalties that has not been collected.
Y'all got music playing Turks and Caicos, and y'all getting paid for that.
It's people like me. I'm a sub-publisher also, and I would be the one that would investigate it, and I would investigate it over in the UK. I would go and I would deal with all of that as well. And do the negotiations on it, and I would get that out the black box. If your royalties stay in the black box, I believe past a couple of years, they distribute that amongst that organization. Well,
there's something called a black box.
Yes.
What is the black box?
It's the black box is where all artists' royalties go at that has not been collected. That a lot of artists don't know about. They're not doing the proper paperwork.
Okay.
They're not collecting their money. They don't know how to collect their money. They don't know how to get. They just thinking it come from streaming. So a lot of the artists is looking for the money from the streaming platforms, but they don't know it's so much paperwork that has to be done because your music is in the tubes and it's hitting different societies,
different places,
and different. Once your music goes over into the UK, once it goes over into Europe and all of that. In Europe, it's 50 countries. It's not like we're talking about over, and then on top of that, we got Japan. I think that's ASRAC, Gamma, all of them different societies. Over here, we got BMI, ASCAP, SEXAC, and we got that one little thing of publishers that you have to be a club to get in there. But yeah, you gotta hire a sub publisher.
Damn, you got me. I can't wait to move over to my office. I'm gonna expedite that process. I'm gonna expedite that to move over.
Also,
y'all do know.
I'm a music supervisor. Also, I go behind a music. Okay, so a publisher is an entity that actually represents a publisher. What we do is we do the negotiating and we go and do the investigating for that publisher. A publisher could be an artist. An artist can be their own publisher. So what happens is the artists will get me. They'll come to a sub publisher and we'll be the ones that'll talk to the ones and do the professional business over there for you and get your. We will collect all your royalties that has not been collected that you're actually not getting because you don't know that they're just laying around. And I'm talking about if you look at all these walls, I'll tell you right now, you probably got 2 of those covered in your royalties that you may be getting when all over here people eating on you.
Oh wow!
Another thing.
Oh wow! Now you got me super excited. So I can't wait to move to my new office in Williamsburg. I'm excited about that. Now, we're gonna wrap it up because the time, so much to talk about. We're gonna have to do a part 2, and we're gonna do the part 2 in your office. You know what I'm saying? So we could wrap it up. So now let people know where to find you.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna take it from there.
Well, actually, I am on all platforms. Pretty Money Records, Pretty Money Records Facebook, Pretty Money Records Instagram, Pretty Money Records, PMR. I just started this, so you guys can PMR Label Services Consulting Firm. If y'all looking for packages and just artist development, branding, whatever you name it, just go to the site. We have a list. I also do music supervising, which with that's a little deep too. And what I do, I assist in music media. I get you clearances and all of that on your music, and we go behind the films, and it's a lot with that sessions, spotting. Because we about to close up, so it's deep with that with the music supervisor. But yeah, I got a lot of hats. Come holler at me, and I help you out.
Y'all hear it from her. She done give y'all too much, and y'all need to cash out me some bread because I had to go get her from a very far place. My name is DJ Scripz, you know what I'm saying? The talk of the town. You lounging with Scripz, NYC. We in the building. Next week I got the hottest. Well, I ain't gonna tell y'all. Y'all gotta tune in. You know what I'm saying? So y'all already know where to find me. Scripz TV. I'm not gonna spell that out for y'all. I'm tired spelling it out for y'all. Scripz TV, SCRIPZ_TV_, and then Loungin with Scripz. Just take the G out and then underscore everything. Loungin with Scripz, and we got Zoes in the industry. The reason why we got Zoes in the industry, there's a lot of Zoes in the industry doing big thing and heavy thing, and we gotta give them their flowers. The talk of the city, NYC, DJ Scripz, and I'm out. Peace.